Come on up, investigators. Yep. Hey, look, I want to thank everybody for patience. Um, I want to thank the Alvarez family, who's been here before, to be here and support this family. Miss Waters, thank you so much for your strength for being here. My new friend, Kamani, 8 years old, the brother of Kamaya, 5-year-old, who was killed senselessly. Sunday morning, early Sunday morning. Mom getting off work, and people want to know, well, what are we doing out at that time of morning? Tell you what she was doing. Coming from work, picking the kids up from daycare. Proud working mom. 2 beautiful kids. Wanted to get them some ice cream. Everybody should be able to do that in our city. 13,300 block of Northborough Drive. Suspects, and we'll go over, I'll let the investigators talk on the specifics. I want to address the human aspect. Torn up mother. 8-year-old kid, strong young man. Told our detectives, I wish it was me and not my baby sister. Shouldn't have to go through that. Shouldn't have to. And I'm saying all this, and I'm off script. I'm saying all this because I'm calling up on my city. Investigators are doing their job, calling up on the citizens of Houston. And I stood here before, unfortunately, and I told you, neighborhood got rules too. We don't shoot and kill our kids. And we got some outstanding suspects out there. Not outstanding in character. Outstanding because we got to get them in custody. And I expect everybody to stand up in our city and do the right thing. I want to thank my partner, my FBI partner, the new SAC in town, James Smith, who has stood by my side since he's been here. We talk daily. And people say, well, you know, this is not a federal nexus. It don't have to be. True partners work together, and he's lending support. Crime Stoppers for being with us at all the time. $5,000 reward what they give out. I want to thank my friend, Tillman Fertitta. Steps up time and time again. $20,000 of his own money because he wants them in custody. And everybody should want them in custody. This makes no sense. And say, Chief, you're emotional a little bit. You're right. And we all should be. We all should be. But we're standing here strong. I want to thank our homicide investigators and the team. And you'll hear from them a little bit later on the specifics and some details of what we have right now. But I want to thank them. And people don't understand the strain on them and upon their families working these scenes. And I want to thank all our investigators, all the men and women out on the front line. But we're here today for a few reasons. I want to acknowledge the beautiful short life of this princess. But I darn sure want to hold people accountable. I'm going to step aside and let the special agent say a few words, and then we'll bring up a homicide investigator, Free J, to say a few words on the investigation, and then we'll have translation by Assistant Chief Garcia. It's in Spanish, but come on up.
Good afternoon. First, I'd like to say hearts and prayers go out to Miss Waters and her family for the loss of Kamaya. First, I'd like to say, the city of Houston has seen a great amount of violence over this past year. We're already into June. The country has seen a lot of violence. The city of Houston's seen over 240 homicides and murders. That is just unacceptable. What I'd like to say to the community today is we need your help. As you can see over history, every act of violence, every murder that has taken place out there, whether it be in the city or in the country, family members know, friends know who are committing these crimes. This just doesn't happen overnight. These killers, and I will say that, killers, these assassins, have grown to be that way. You just don't wake up and go out and kill people. So family members, friends, we need your help. We definitely need your help. So some are probably going to ask, where's the FBI in this particular act of violence? Well, we are working around the clock with our partners here from Houston PD and other law enforcement to see where we can interject our tools and our resources to help in this particular crime and any crime that happens around the city where we can help. So again, want the community to understand we are here to support you. We are here to help you to become this a much better city. Citizens of this city should not be held hostage due to these acts of violence of these criminals that are out there. So again, I'm asking you all, citizens, the community, to come forward and provide information on this particular crime. We know you're out there. We know you know who did this. And again, we're asking for your help. Thank you.
Thanks. Detective Free J. Thanks.
Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon. I'm Detective Free J with Houston Homicide Division. This is my partner, Detective Higgs. I'm going to give you a little more detailed rundown of what occurred the morning of July the 3rd. On July the 3rd, Ms. Waters was working late, like the Chief already stated, at her shift at a nearby restaurant. She was responsible for closing up the restaurant that night, it's my understanding, and she's done that probably on many nights before. She left work to go pick up her children from a 24-hour daycare center, and as a treat, she would take her children to get ice cream. For being away from them all day. Even after working these many hours, Ms. Waters said it was common that she took them to get ice cream that late at night. But while on their way home for ice cream, Ms. Waters came to a stop at the stop sign at 13350 Northborough Drive at 12:51 in the morning. At the same time, a silver 1999 Honda Accord four-door sedan with 4 unknown males driving west on Rush Creek through the intersection as it's seen shooting toward the original food store, which is at that intersection. As the silver Honda drives through the intersection, an unknown male is seen shooting from the rear driver's side car back window toward its 7 o'clock position back toward the store. The individual continues to shoot toward the store as the silver car goes through the intersection, crossing in front of Ms. Waters' vehicle. One bullet struck Ms. Waters' vehicle, entering through the back driver's side door, striking Kamaya and then Kamani. The silver Honda continued west on Rush Creek, turning north on Ella Boulevard, and it's seen crossing Rankin Road. However, our video does not show the silver car passing the intersection of Rushworth Drive. It's our belief that the silver Honda Accord turned off into one of the several apartment complexes between Rankin Road and Rushworth. We're asking for anyone who may have been a witness or anyone with information regarding the senseless tragedy, please call Crime Stoppers or call the Homicide Division at 713-308-3608. You have anything you want to add? Subject to your questions, I'll turn it back over to Chief.
We'll let translate Ernie, and then we'll see if Mom wants to say anything. Yeah. Thank you.
So, buenas tardes, soy Ernesto García de la Policía de Houston, asistente jefe. Y que estamos haciendo ahorita, hoy mismo, es hablando de este tiroteo que pasó hoy, o que pasó en el domingo por la mañana, el 3 de julio, de 12:50 de la mañana. Estamos pidiendo la comunidad para información para buscar estos sospechosos que están responsables de disparar de un carro y pegar otro carro con la bala con 2 niños adentro. Una niña y un niño, la niña de 5 años y el niño de 8 años, estaban adentro del carro con la mamá. La mamá estaba levantando a los niños del daycare porque la mamá estaba trabajando en la noche y estaba levantando a los niños para llevarlos a comer ice cream. Cuando estaba en el camino, un carro de 4 puertas, color gris, estaba en la área y empezaron a disparar, que creíamos que estaban disparando a una tienda que estaba ahí cerquita, donde estaba el carro. Cuando dispararon, entonces la niña dentro del carro le dispararon. Como el jefe de la policía de Houston ahorita mismo dijo, que estamos pidiendo ayuda de la comunidad, ayudando para buscar y hallando estos sospechosos que hicieron esto. Estamos aquí, no estamos aquí solos, como el jefe Finner dijo también. Queremos dar la gracia, primera vez o primera a la familia para estar aquí. Queremos decir a la familia que estamos con ustedes, que estamos orando por ustedes y por su familia, y estamos pidiendo a la ciudad que haga la misma cosa. Aquí tenemos nuestro encargado agente de la FBI, James Smith, aquí. Tenemos personas del Crime Stoppers. Queremos dar la gracia también al señor Tillman Fertitta, que dio dinero. Y también queremos dar la gracia a los investigadores de División de Homicidio que está investigando esto. Entonces, la cosa y la razón que estamos aquí esta tarde otra vez es que es bien importante que si alguien miró algo o si ha mirado algo, que ha oído algo en la calle y sabemos que una persona sí oyó o sí miró qué pasó, necesitamos a esa persona hablar a la policía, hablar a Crime Stoppers, 713-222-TIPS, o la División de Homicidio, 713-308-3600. Entonces necesitamos la ayuda de la comunidad y como digo, que vamos a continuar orando por la familia y ojalá que alguien hable a la policía para darnos más información. Gracias.
I had one fear bringing my kids into this world, and that was failing my babies. I've been taking care of my kids by myself for, my son will be 8. And I'm not perfect, but I think I've done a great job this far. And my one fear was brought to life a few nights ago when I failed to protect my baby. The police have their duty to protect and serve the country. As a mom, I have a duty to protect and serve my kids. It's heartbreaking that we live in a world you can't send your kids to school without potentially a gunman coming in. You can't send your kids to church or even go to church and know that you're going to make it home. But my kids aren't safe in my vehicle with me. I know I don't feel there's a dollar amount they should put on a reward for my baby, because there's no dollar amount or no one word that can bring my baby back. And I don't feel like it should take a reward to bring any information for my baby. There's a man at home watching the news, waiting to see if they've got any evidence on him, just sleeping at night, and my baby can't even rest peacefully at night in her home, in her bed, with her best friend, her brother, and her mom. But this man is sleeping every night, watching the news. And if you're watching, you just have to, how would you feel watching your sister lay lifeless in your arms, or your niece or your nephew or your daughter, knowing you can't do anything, and there was no sign above saying don't go there? Christina, they're shooting, Christina. My stomach told me so many times to turn around, and if I would have turned around, my baby would be alive. But I didn't turn around. It's just sad that it takes money for anyone to come forward. That could have been you. That could have been your child. That could have been your niece, your nephew, your sister. My daughter, they say a homicide. My daughter was killed. My daughter was 5 and she was shot in her face. Shot in her face. She wasn't just killed. She was brutally murdered. Because what? Gang violence? Somebody felt like reenacting Boys in the Hood. I don't know. But what I do know, you should never have to tell your kids get down because there's random gunshots. And only hearing one get up is the worst feeling in the world. My baby was gone before they even had a chance to save her. And there's so many people that were at that store, and so many people that will not come forward. It takes money. It takes money for anyone to bring justice for my baby, and justice for my baby isn't even this man doing life in prison. He still has a life to do his sentence in prison. I just want to wake up. I just want to wake up. Both of my kids were shot. One doesn't get to go home with me. I wouldn't be here if the other one couldn't go home with me. Not my baby. My baby was so full of life. So full of life. I remember getting mad at her because she just chews her nail polish off her fingers. I get her nails done and she'll just chew it off her fingers. And I told her the other day I wasn't painting her nails, and she just chewed them off. And I just want to paint my baby's nails. I just want my baby home with me. And my baby's sitting in the hospital by herself. There is no strength. There is no strength. There is no strength. I have a little boy to live for, but every time I look at him, I feel like I failed him. And that's the worst pain for a mom to have to feel. Knowing it's not my fault, but feeling like I could have did something. But you can. You can. There was so many people at that store that night. So please, please, the money shouldn't be the motivation. That little girl, my beautiful baby, should be motivation enough. I can't even have an open casket viewing for my daughter to send her home the right way because of what these animals, I can't even say these men, these criminals, these animals did to my baby. They didn't know her. They didn't care to know her. They didn't know what they were aiming for. I know my daughter wasn't their target. She didn't deserve this. My son didn't deserve to lose his best friend, his little sister. My baby goes so hard for her brother. You can't tell her nothing. She's the little sister, but she holds it down like the big sister. And we don't have her. We lost her. And ultimately, when my baby got down, I think she got and covered her brother. But for my baby to say that it should have been him, that's the worst. How do you respond to that? It shouldn't have been it shouldn't have been my baby, not my baby. It shouldn't have been us, and it shouldn't have been any of the other children or the other families. We didn't deserve this. They didn't deserve this, and I'm so thankful that she's here. I don't know her, but I'm so thankful for her. No, it's I don't know if I'm saying the right things or the wrong things. I have a heart full of hate. And just a few days ago, I had a heart full of love. I didn't do anything that I don't do every night after work with my kids. Just come forward. And for the man watching at home, picture your sister lying lifeless in your arms with a gunshot to her face, and how that would make you feel. My 8-year-old has nightmares every night. That's not, my kids are supposed to be burying me. I'm not supposed to be burying my baby. But in case you're watching, jail's certainly not enough for you. But that's all I've got. I can't. But I do want justice for my baby. Long live Dior.
Okay. Look, nobody can say anything better, more heartfelt than mine. It's been a long days for them. Definitely today it's been tough. We're going to respect it and end it now. But as she said, and as I said, and everybody's asking, step forward and do the right thing for the person who's responsible. Guarantee we'll have you in custody pretty quick. Best thing for you to do is turn yourself in. Thank y'all for being here today. It's $25,000. Thank y'all.